In this video, we will teach you how to easily graph a square root or cube root function. After watching this, you will be able to use this concept to graph square root functions and many others in the same form. To graph this function, f of x equals 3 times the square root of x plus 4 minus 2, you first have to know the translation form of a square root or cube root function, which is f of x equals a times the square root of x minus h plus k. Keep in mind that there is a negative h in the radical, because that will be very important when shifting the graph. Once you know this, you will have to know the parent function of f of x, which is f of x equals the square root of x and its graph. After graphing the parent function, you must graph the multiplier, which is f of x equals 3 times the square root of x. In the multiplier, you multiply every y value of the parent function by 3. For example, when x equals 1 in the parent function, y would equal 1. When you apply the multiplier, when x equals 1, y would equal 3. When x equals 4 with the multiplier, y would equal 6. Once you apply the multiplier to the graph, you have to shift it vertically and horizontally. The vertical shift of the graph is very straightforward. To do the vertical shift, all you have to do is move the graph by the value of k in the translation form. So in this function, you move the points of the multiplier graph down 2. The horizontal shift is where the negative h comes in. To do the horizontal shift, move the points in the multiplier graph in the value opposite of whatever h is in the parent function. Remember to do the vertical and horizontal shifts simultaneously. After doing the shifts, your graph is now complete. Now pause the video and graph this problem. So this is what you should have gotten. You start off with the parent function, then you apply the multiplier and multiply every y value by 2. So 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, and 3 becomes 6. After that, you shift the graph vertically up 5 units so that the y-intercept is at y equals 5. Finally, you shift the graph horizontally to the right 3 because of the negative h in the translation form. The graph in red is the graph you should have ended up with. You could check your solution by entering the function into a graphing calculator and seeing if they match up. Using this concept of shifts and multipliers, you should be able to graph any square root function or cube root function or any other function with a translation form. To practice what you've learned so far, do these problems and check your answer using a graphing calculator. Thanks for watching.